She announced, "I'm engaged to someone else. We've been seeing each other for months." While still living in my house, I said, "Congratulations to you both." Then I had her escorted out by police that evening and changed every lock and security code. When her fiancé showed up, demanding she be let back in. Original post: I, 38 male, got the announcement at dinner. My girlfriend Veronica, 33, and I had been together for 4 years, living in my house for the last 2.5. She'd made pasta, opened wine, set the table nice. I thought maybe she got a promotion or something. Instead, she put her hand on the table, sporting a diamond ring I'd never seen before. "I have something to tell you," she said, smiling. Actually smiling. "I'm engaged to Bradley. We've been seeing each other for months and he proposed yesterday." I put down my fork, stared at her, at the ring, back at her. "You're engaged to someone else while living in my house?" "Yes. Isn't it exciting? I wanted you to be the first to know." The audacity was so stunning I actually laughed. "Veronica, are you having a mental breakdown?" "What? No, I'm in love. Bradley's amazing, he's everything I've wanted." "And you're telling me this, why exactly?" She looked confused. "Because we live together? Obviously things will change now, but I figured we could work out a transition plan. Maybe I could stay another month or 2 while Brad and I find a place." I stood up, walked to the cabinet, poured myself a scotch, took a sip, then turned back to her. "Congratulations to you both." "Really? Oh, thank you. I was worried you'd be upset. Veronica, pack your things." "What?" "Pack your things. You have 2 hours." Her face changed. "You can't be serious. I live here." "No, you lived here. Past tense. You just announced you're engaged to another man. We're done. You're leaving. At tonight." "That's illegal. I'm a tenant. You need to give me 30 days notice." "You're not a tenant. You're a guest. Never paid rent. Never signed anything. Not on any bills. You're my ex-girlfriend who I'm asking to leave my property. This is emotional abuse. You're throwing me out with nowhere to go. Call Brad. I'm sure your fiancé has a place for you." She pulled out her phone, started recording. "This is harassment. I'm documenting this." I pulled out my phone too, called 911. "Yes, I need assistance removing someone from my property. My now ex-girlfriend just announced she's engaged to another man and refuses to leave. Yes, I own the house. No, she's not on any lease or deed. Thank you." Veronica's jaw dropped. "You called the cops? You have 1 hour and 55 minutes. Update 1. That night, the cops arrived in 20 minutes. 2 officers, very professional. I showed them my deed, my ID, explained the situation. They looked at Veronica with barely hidden disbelief. "Ma'am, is it true you just announced your engagement to another man while living here?" "That's not illegal." "No, ma'am, but if you're not a legal tenant and the homeowner wants you to leave." "I've lived here for years. I have rights." "Do you have a lease agreement?" "No, but do you receive mail here?" "Yes." "That doesn't establish tenancy without other factors. Do you pay rent?" "I contribute." I pulled up my banking app. "That, officer? Here's my mortgage payments, all from my account. Utilities, all in my name, paid by me. She's never paid a dime." The younger cop looked at Veronica. "Ma'am, you announced you're marrying someone else. Why would you want to stay here?" "I need time to figure things out." The older cop sighed. "Sir, technically she might have some claim to residency, but given the circumstances, ma'am, I strongly suggest you pack what you can tonight and leave voluntarily. Otherwise, this becomes a legal matter." Veronica started crying. Not sad tears, angry tears. "This is so unfair." "Ma'am," the younger cop said, "you told this man you're engaged to someone else. What did you expect?" She called Bradley while packing. I heard her shrieking from the bedroom. Apparently, Brad lived with 3 roommates and couldn't have her over tonight. She packed 2 suitcases and 4 garbage bags of stuff, all while live streaming on Instagram, narrating how I was kicking her out for finding love. As she was leaving, she turned to me. "I'll be back for the rest of my things. Text me when. I'll have them in the driveway." "You're going to regret this, Paul. Probably not as much as you're going to regret announcing your engagement over pasta." The cops waited until she drove away in the car I'd been letting her use, more on that later. Then the older one turned to me. "Change your locks, tonight, and maybe get cameras. Already have a locksmith on the way. Smart man, good luck." Update 2. The next day woke up to 67 text messages, 30 missed calls, and a dozen Instagram notifications. Bradley, the fiancé, had messaged, "Bro, that was cold. She needed more time to move out properly. Not cool." I responded, "Bro, you proposed to my girlfriend while she lived in my house. Not cool." Veronica's mom called at 7 a.m. "Paul, what is this I'm hearing about you throwing Ronnie out?" "Morning, Janet. Did she mention the engagement?" "The what?" "She's engaged. To Bradley. They've been together for months." Long pause. "She said you two were basically roommates. Is that what she told Bradley too?" I need to call you back." She never did. Around noon, Bradley showed up at my door. Mid-30s, man bun, probably drove a Prius. "We need to talk." "No, we don't. You traumatized Veronica. Your fiancé announced your engagement to me over dinner, in my house, that she was living in, rent-free. She said you knew about us." I actually laughed. "She told you I knew she was cheating?" "It wasn't cheating. You two were basically broken up." "First I'm hearing about it. Look, she needs to get her furniture and..." "Her furniture?" "The bedroom set, the living room stuff. All bought by me. I have receipts. She owns some clothes, makeup, and a laptop that's 3 years old. She decorated this place, with my money." Bradley's face was getting red. "She's staying with her sister now? Do you know how humiliating this is for her?" "For her? She announced she was marrying another man while living with me." "You could have given her time." "To do what? Plan your wedding from my guest room? We're getting her stuff, all of it." "Try it, please. Make my day." He stormed off. I installed 3 more cameras. Update 3, Day 3. Veronica tried the nuclear option, posted on social media that I was an abusive ex who threw her out for falling in love with someone who actually cared about her. Said I'd been controlling, manipulative, that she'd been trying to leave for months, but I wouldn't let her. Problem was I had receipts, literal receipts. I posted one response. "Interesting narrative. Here's the facts. She announced engagement to another man while living rent-free in my house. Never paid a bill. Also, here's last week's texts where she said she loved me." Screenshot after screenshot. Her asking me for money for her student loans 2 weeks ago. Her "I love you" text from 4 days before the announcement. Her using my credit card for a spa day with Brad, I now realized. Last month, her friends started commenting, "Wait, you were engaged while living there? Girl, you said you two were separated. This is messy AF." Then came the voicemail from her sister Melissa. "Paul, I'm sorry about Ronnie. I didn't know she was still living with you. She's been bringing Brad around for months saying you two were done. Mom's pissed. Can you just put her stuff outside so I can pick it up? Already packed. Come by whenever." But here's where it gets good. Remember the car I mentioned? Update 4. The car situation. The car Veronica drove was mine, fully paid off, in my name. I just let her use it, but she'd apparently been telling Brad it was hers. Day 4, I reported it stolen. She called from the police station. They'd pulled her over and found the car was reported stolen. Since she couldn't prove ownership? "Paul, what the hell? Oh, hey Veronica, how's engaged life? You reported the car stolen? Well, you don't live here anymore and you took my car without permission. That's theft. You let me drive it. When you were my girlfriend, you're Bradley's problem now. This is insane. I'm at the police station. I'll come get my car then. Brad can pick you up. He's at work. Uber exists. You're evil. I'm practical. You wanted to be engaged to someone else. Congratulations, you're his responsibility now." I picked up my car. She had to Uber to her sister's. Cost her $73 according to her angry text. I didn't respond. Update 5, the escalation. Day 6. Bradley and 3 of his buddies showed up at my house at 9 p.m. "Open up. We're getting Veronica's things." I called 911 again. 4 men are trying to break into my house. Bradley was pounding on the door. "We know you're in there." I put the phone on speaker so dispatch could hear. "Please leave my property. You're trespassing." "She owns half this stuff." "She owns nothing. I have receipts for everything." They tried to go around back. Motion lights and cameras caught everything. One of his friends actually tried to jimmy the sliding door. Cops arrived fast. 4 guys trying to break into a house gets priority. Bradley immediately played victim. "This man stole my fiancé's belongings. We're just trying to get her things." I showed the cops the security footage. 4 men trying to break in. "Arrest them," I said. "Now wait." Bradley started. "Attempted breaking and entering. Trespassing. I want to press charges." The friend who tried the sliding door got cuffed. Bradley and the other two got citations and trespass warnings. If they came back, immediate arrest. Bradley was screaming about lawyers and lawsuits as they put his friend in the patrol car. I looked him dead in the eye. Your fiancé lived here rent-free for 2.5 years while cheating with you. I could sue her for back rent. Want to play the legal game? I've got deeper pockets. Update 6, the family meeting day 10. Got a call from Janet, Veronica's mom. Paul, can we talk? In person? We met at a coffee shop. Janet looked tired. I need to know the truth, all of it. I showed her everything. Bank statements showing I paid for everything. Texts from Veronica from just days before talking about our future. The dinner receipt from the night before she announced her engagement. She'd insisted on going to an expensive place. Now I knew why. She was celebrating with my money. Janet's face just got more and more grim. She told us you two had been separated for 6 months, that you were basically roommates, that she was scared to leave because you were unstable. I'm a project manager at an engineering firm. I own my house. I've never even raised my voice at her. I know. I know. She's always been like this. Her father and we enabled it. When she was younger, she dated 2 boys at once and convinced each the other was just a friend. We should have done something then. She's 33, Janet. I know. Bradley's been to family dinners for months. She said you were never available, always working. We thought you were the problem. I was working, paying for her lifestyle. Janet pushed an envelope across the table. This is $5,000. It's not much, but it's something for what she took from you. Janet, I can't. Please, take it. Consider it an apology from her father and me. We raised this. We need to own some of it. I took the envelope. Thank you. Bradley's already having second thoughts, you know. Now that she's living with Melissa, asking him for money constantly, he's seeing what you dealt with. Not my problem anymore. No, it's not. I'm sorry, Paul. You deserved better. Update 7, the implosion week 3. Melissa, Veronica's sister, texted me. Can we talk? Without Ronnie knowing? We had a phone call. She's driving me insane. She won't get a job, won't help around the house, just sits on Instagram all day talking about her trauma and wedding planning. Bradley's only been over twice. She keeps asking him for money and he's getting weird about it. Again, not my problem. I know. How did you do it for so long? I loved her, or thought I did. Love makes you stupid. She's been telling people you two had an open relationship. What? Yeah, that you knew about Bradley the whole time and were fine with it until you got jealous. That's a new one. Paul? Did she ever contribute anything? Anything at all? She made dinner sometimes, with groceries I paid for. Christ, I'm giving her 30 days, then she's out. I can't do this. Good luck with that. 2 weeks later, Melissa called again. She won't leave. Says I can't kick her out. She's family. Sounds familiar. Bradley dumped her. I nearly spit out my coffee. What? Yeah. She kept demanding he pay for everything. Got mad when he suggested she get a job. Then she found out his marketing consultant job was actually part-time at his dad's company. He's been lying about having money. They're perfect for each other, honestly, except neither actually has money. Karma's beautiful. She's saying she's going to sue you for emotional distress and illegal eviction. She can try. I have a great lawyer. Update 8, the legal threat week 5. I got served with papers. Not a real lawsuit, just a cease and desist from some ambulance chaser Veronica found, demanding I return her property and pay her $50,000 for emotional distress and illegal eviction. My lawyer left. Actually left. She announced she was engaged to another man while living with you, rent-free, and she wants money? That's what it says. Let me handle this. His response was beautiful. 3 pages of legalese that basically said, "Lol, no. Countersuit incoming for 2.5 years of back rent at market rate, $48,000. Veronica's lawyer dropped her immediately. She tried to represent herself. Filed something with the court that was 17 pages of rambling about emotional terrorism and love discrimination. The judge threw it out in less than 5 minutes. But the best part? She had to list her address for the court documents. She'd moved in with Bradley after he took her back. His roommate's address was now public record. Update 9. The final card week 7. Bradley called me. I need your help. That's hilarious. Please. She won't leave. She's not on our lease, but she won't go. She's threatening to say I assaulted her if we try to make her leave. And you want my help? Why? You got her out in one night. Yeah, by calling the cops immediately and having security footage. Can you talk to her? Tell her to leave? Brad, my man, you proposed to another man's girlfriend while she was living with him. You made this bed. I didn't know. She said you two were done. And you believed her? While she still lived with me? I'm an idiot. Yes you are. Please, I'm begging you. Brad, here's free advice. Install cameras today. Document everything. When she threatens false accusations, record it. Then call the cops yourself. First one to call usually wins. That's it. Also, maybe don't propose to women who are living with other men. He hung up. Final update. It's been 3 months now. Here's where everyone ended up. Veronica. After Bradley's roommates threatened legal action, she ended up moving back with her parents. At 33, she's working part-time at a clothing store and still posting about her journey of self-discovery and how she's a survivor of narcissistic abuse. She's also engaged again to some guy she met online who lives in another state. They've never met in person. Moved back with his parents too. Turns out his roommates kicked him out for bringing the drama to their house. His Instagram is now private, but mutual friends say he posts motivational quotes about learning from mistakes. Janet and Robert, as parents, sent me a Christmas card with another check for $2,000 and a note saying they're in therapy to deal with enabling behaviors. They've apparently given Veronica a deadline to move out. Melissa, we actually became friends. She texts me updates sometimes. She's in therapy too, realizing how much her family dynamics screwed up her own relationships. Me, I'm good. House is peaceful. Started dating someone new, Rebecca. She has her own house, own car, own job, insists on splitting every check. It's weird how normal it feels to be with someone who contributes equally. The best part? I ran into one of Bradley's former roommates at a bar. He told me the full story of their last days. Apparently, Veronica had convinced Bradley to propose by telling him she was pregnant with his kid while living with me. The timeline made no sense. She would have been pregnant while actively sleeping with me. When he figured out she was lying about the pregnancy, he tried to break it off. That's when she threatened to claim assault. The roommates installed cameras in the common areas without telling her. Caught her on video admitting she was never pregnant and laughing about how men are so easy to manipulate. They gave Bradley the footage, he gave it to the cops, and they escorted her out. She tried to claim they illegally recorded her. Turns out, common areas and shared housing don't have expectation of privacy. Sometimes karma takes its time, but when it arrives, it's thorough. Looking back, the red flags were everywhere. She hadn't worked steadily in 2 years, always had an excuse, always had a crisis that prevented her from contributing, always had big dreams but no actual plans. The announcement dinner was actually a gift. If she'd been smarter about it, strung me along longer, I might have wasted more years. Instead, she got so comfortable she thought she could have her cake and eat it too. Literally thought I'd let her stay while she planned a wedding to another man. The entitlement was astronomical. The delusion? Even bigger. But the best revenge? Living well. My house is clean, my bills are lower, my stress is gone. I wake up every morning in my own bed, in my own house, with no one else's drama to deal with. And Veronica? She's everyone else's problem now, one at a time. She announced at dinner, my ex is moving in with us, he needs help. I said, that's very kind of you. Then I secretly signed a new lease, moved out while she was at work, and left divorce papers on the kitchen counter. Her frantic voicemail started 3 hours later. I, 32 male, was sitting across from my wife Jenna, 30, at our usual Thursday dinner spot when she dropped the bomb. We'd been married for 3 years, together for 5. So, I have something to tell you, she said, twirling her pasta like this was casual conversation. Ricky needs a place to stay for a while. I told him he could move into our spare room. Ricky, her ex-boyfriend, the one she dated for 4 years before me, the one who still calls sometimes just to check in, the one whose Instagram posts she still likes at 1 a.m. Ricky? I kept my voice neutral. Yeah, he's going through a rough patch. Lost his job, his roommate kicked him out, he has nowhere to go. She said this like it was obvious he should live with us. When's he moving in? This weekend. I already told him yes. You don't mind, right? It's the decent thing to do. I took a sip of water, counted to 3. That's very kind of you. She smiled, relieved. I knew you'd understand. You're so mature about these things, not like those insecure guys who get jealous over nothing. The waiter brought our check. I paid. We went home. She went to bed happy, thinking she'd married the world's biggest pushover. She was wrong. Friday morning, she left for work at 8 a.m. By 8:15, I was on apartment hunting websites. By 10 a.m., I'd toured 3 places. By noon, I'd signed a lease on a 1-bedroom that was available immediately. The movers came at 1 p.m. I only took what was mine: my clothes, my gaming setup, my books, the TV I'd bought before we married, my grandmother's dining set she'd left me. Left all the furniture we'd bought together. I wasn't petty, just done. At 3 p.m., I met with my lawyer. Drew up the divorce papers, citing irreconcilable differences. Simple, clean, no drama. I didn't want anything from her, except out. At 4:30 p.m., I placed the divorce papers on the kitchen counter, right next to her coffee maker, where she'd see them first thing. I left my wedding ring on top of them. Also left a sticky note. House is all yours for you and Ricky. Rent's paid through the month. Good luck. At 5 p.m., I was sitting in my new apartment, eating Chinese takeout when my phone started exploding. 5:43 p.m. First voicemail. What the hell is this? Is this a joke? Call me back now. 5:51 p.m. Second voicemail. I know you're getting these. This is insane. You can't just leave. 6:02 p.m. Third voicemail. Are you seriously divorcing me because I'm helping a friend? Are you that insecure? 6:15 p.m. Fourth voicemail. Where did you go? Where's your stuff? Call me. I turned off my phone and watched Netflix. Update 1. Saturday morning was wild, even by Jenna standards. I turned my phone back on to 73 text messages and 28 missed calls. The texts were a journey through the stages of grief. If grief was entitled and delusional, this isn't funny anymore. You're being dramatic. We need to talk like adults. You can't just abandon me. What am I supposed to tell people? You're having a mental breakdown. Come home and we'll forget this happened. I'll find you. My buddy Cameron called. Apparently, Jenna had called him at midnight demanding to know where I was. Dude, she was unhinged. Kept saying you kidnapped yourself or something? Made no sense. Would you tell her that I didn't know anything? Which was true since you didn't tell me either, you sneaky bastard. Where are you anyway? Got my own place. Legend. So she really was gonna move her ex in? Already told him yes without asking me. Bro, the audacity. Then came the family assault. Her mom Dottie called. How dare you abandon my daughter over something so trivial? She was just being a good person. She invited her ex to live with us without asking me. So, secure men don't care about things like that. Then she can find a secure man. I'm filing for divorce. You'll regret this. She's the best thing that ever happened to you. Doubt it. Click. Her sister Fiona texted, You're really showing your true colors. Jenna deserves better than a man who runs away at the first sign of her having a good heart. I didn't respond. But here's where it gets really good. Ricky showed up at the house Saturday afternoon with a U-Haul. Jenna had to explain that her husband had left because he was moving in. According to my neighbor Phil, who was watching this like it was reality TV, Ricky was pissed. Phil sent me the play-by-play. Bro, Ricky's yelling that she said you were cool with it. Now he's asking why your car's gone. She's crying. He's unloading his stuff anyway. Elmo! Wait, he's loading it back up. Now they're arguing in the driveway. He just left. She's still standing outside. Turns out Ricky thought this was his second chance with Jenna. When he found out she was getting divorced because of him moving in, he realized being the reason for a divorce wasn't the romantic reunion he'd imagined. Saturday night, Jenna tried a new strategy. She posted on Facebook, Some people can't handle their partner having a generous spirit. I was just trying to help someone in need, and my husband abandoned me. Shows his true character. Heartbroken, deserve better. The comments were not what she expected. Her cousin. Wait, who were you helping? Jenna, my friend Ricky needed a place to stay. Cousin, your ex Ricky, the one you dated for 4 years? So? Her own aunt. Girl, you moved your ex into your marital home? It's not like that. She deleted the post an hour later. Update 2 Monday was when Jenna realized I was serious. She showed up at my work. Security wouldn't let her in, I'd warned them. She stood in the parking lot for 2 hours. My coworkers were sending me pictures from the window. She had a sign that said, "Please talk to me." Security eventually made her leave. She then tried to get our mutual friends involved. Called everyone we knew with her sob story. Most were shocked when they heard the full truth. Wait, she moved her ex in? Without asking you? Into your house? Bro, you did the right thing. But Jenna's version was different. According to her, I was threatened by her kindness and too insecure to handle her having male friends. Our friend Monica called me. "Jenna's at my place right now crying about how you're getting divorced because she gave a homeless friend a couch to crash on for a few days. That homeless friend is her ex-boyfriend who she invited to live with us indefinitely without asking me." What? She said it was someone from her charity work. Ask her for his name. I heard Monica in the background. "Jenna, what's this friend's name?" Mumbling. "Ricky? Isn't that your—" "Oh my God." Monica kicked her out. Tuesday, Jenna's dad called. Arthur was always reasonable, so I actually answered. "Son, what's this about you leaving my daughter?" I explained the whole situation. Long silence. "She invited her ex-boyfriend to live in your house?" "Yes." "Without discussing it with you?" "Told me at dinner after she'd already said yes to him." Jesus Christ. I raised an idiot. I wouldn't say. "No, you're right to leave." Dottie's been filling her head with this empowered woman nonsense about how men should just accept whatever to prove they're not controlling. But this is too far. Thanks for understanding. Keep the divorce lawyer. I'll talk to Dottie, but Jenna's made her bed. Wednesday brought the peak entitlement. Jenna had Ricky call me. "Ricky. Hey man, this is Ricky. I think there's been a misunderstanding." "No misunderstanding. Look, I wasn't trying to cause problems. Jenna said you were cool with me crashing there." "She didn't ask me. She told me." "Oh, well, I mean, I really need a place." "Not my problem. Can't you just come back and we can work this out?" "I promise I'll be respectful." "Are you seriously asking me to come back to my wife so you can live in my house?" "When you put it like that, lose my number." That afternoon, Jenna sent an email to my mom. My mom. "Dear Mrs. Patterson, your son has abandoned me because I tried to help someone in need. I don't know what you taught him about marriage, but walking out isn't the answer. Please talk sense into him. I'm willing to forgive him if he comes home immediately." Jenna. My mom's response. She CC'd me. "Jenna, my son told me you invited your ex-boyfriend to live in your marital home without discussing it with him. That's not helping someone in need. That's disrespecting your marriage. I taught him to have self-respect. He's doing exactly what I would expect. Don't contact me again, Patricia." Mom sent me a text after. "The nerve of that girl. You need anything?" Thursday, Jenna got desperate. She went to the house we'd been renting and discovered I'd already talked to the landlord. Told him I was leaving due to divorce. Removed myself from the lease. She'd have to qualify on her own or move out in 30 days. She couldn't qualify on her own salary. The meltdown was epic. She called me 23 times in an hour, left voicemails ranging from, "You can't do this to me. I'll be homeless. This is financial abuse. I'll sue you for abandonment. Please, I'm sorry. Ricky won't move in. I need you." I texted back once. "Ricky needs a place. You have 30 days to find one together." Update 3. The divorce papers were officially filed. Jenna had to get a lawyer. Her lawyer called mine with an offer. Jenna would forgive me for overreacting if I 1. Came back immediately, 2. Paid for marriage counseling, 3. Agreed to never bring up the Ricky situation again, 4. Gave her access to my new address. My lawyer actually laughed on the phone. She thinks she's negotiating from a position of power? What should I counter with? Nothing. She gets nothing. No alimony, no split assets since you kept everything separate, nothing. She can keep the furniture you left behind as a gift. Her lawyer tried to argue emotional distress. Mine countered with abandonment of marital duties when she unilaterally decided to move another man in. But Friday delivered the ultimate karma. Remember how Jenna told Ricky he could move in? Well, Ricky had given notice at his old place based on that promise. He was now technically homeless. So he showed up at the house with his stuff, thinking surely by now she'd worked it out. Phil, neighbor MVP, sent me videos. Ricky pulled up with his U-Haul. Again, Jenna came outside. They argued for 20 minutes. Highlights include, "You said I could move in." That was before my husband left. "So? You still have a house. I can't afford it alone. Then we'll split rent." "I'm not splitting rent with my ex." "Then why did you offer?" She went inside and locked the door. Ricky sat on the lawn for 3 hours before finally leaving. He then did something beautiful. He posted on Facebook, "Shout out to Jenna Morrison for promising me a place to live, causing her husband to leave her, then leaving me homeless anyway. Real class act. To her ex-husband, if you see this, you made the right call, bro." Jenna's friends saw it, her family saw it, her coworkers saw it. She called me sobbing. "Look what you've done. Everyone thinks I'm a horrible person. You invited your ex to live with us without asking me. It was just to help him. And how'd that work out? He's still homeless and you're getting divorced. This isn't how it was supposed to go. What did you think would happen? I thought you'd be mature about it. I thought you trusted me. I did trust you. Then you showed me I shouldn't." She hung up. Final update. The divorce was finalized yesterday. Fastest divorce my lawyer had ever seen because Jenna had nothing to contest. No kids, no shared assets, no alimony eligibility. Clean break. She showed up to court with Dottie and Fiona for support. I came alone. Didn't need a cheering section for freedom. Judge asked if there was any chance of reconciliation. Jenna actually said if he apologizes for overreacting and agrees to counseling. The judge looked at her lawyer, then at mine, then at the paperwork showing why we were divorcing. "Ma'am, you invited another man to live in your marital home without consulting your husband? He's just a friend. Your ex-boyfriend of 4 years? That's not relevant." The judge signed the papers without another word. Outside the courthouse, Dottie started her usual screeching. "You're going to die alone. No one will ever love you like Jenna did." Good. Her love included moving her ex in. Fiona tried. "You know she was just trying to help someone." "Then why isn't he living with you?" Silence. Arthur was there too. He shook my hand. "You're a good man. Sorry my daughter lost her mind." The aftermath has been amusing. Jenna had to move back with Dottie and Arthur. Arthur's not happy about it. Ricky is living in his car, still posting angry rants about Jenna ruining his life. Dottie tried to set Jenna up with her friend's son. He Googled her, found Ricky's posts, and noped out. Fiona posted about toxic masculinity and how real men aren't threatened by their partner's past. Their cousin commented, "Girl, she tried to move her ex in. That's not the past, that's the present." My life, peaceful. My apartment, smaller, but it's mine. No surprise roommates. No ex-boyfriends showing up. Just me, my gaming setup, and the satisfaction of knowing I respected myself enough to leave. Met a girl at the coffee shop near my new place. Her name's Quinn. We've had 3 dates. When I told her why I got divorced, she said she tried to move her ex in without asking? That's insane. Exactly, Quinn. Exactly. Last week, Jenna sent me a long email about how she's grown from this experience and understands now that communication is important, and maybe we could try again with better boundaries. I replied, "No thanks. I'm good." She responded, "You'll never find someone who loved you like I did." That's the point. Blocked her email after that. For everyone asking if I regret leaving so quickly, no. When someone shows you who they are, someone who makes major decisions without you, dismisses your feelings, and tries to gaslight you into accepting disrespect, believe them the first time. She thought being kind to her ex was more important than respecting her husband. That told me everything I needed to know. Edit. To everyone saying I should have communicated, I did. I communicated with a lawyer and then with my actions. Some things don't deserve a discussion. Edit 2. Jenna, since I know you hate reading this, Fiona told Quinn you're obsessed with finding my Reddit. Ricky posted yesterday that he's dating someone new. She has her own place. Bet that stings. Edit 3. Just found out through the grapevine that Dottie's been telling people I left because I was threatened by Jenna's success. Jenna works part-time at a boutique. I'm a software engineer. Make it make sense.